My grandmother was a storyteller. She always fascinated me with her tales. Once, she told me about the time that she was born. Back then, there was no electricity, no plumbing, no indoor bathrooms, and no lights in the house. I couldn't imagine a house without electricity. And they got around in a horse and buggy. That's all they had. It wasn't long before all these things were invented, and I loved how she described the experience. She told me that when electric lines came along, they didn't connect them to the homes. They started with the street lamps. All of her family members and friends gathered outside on the street and stared up at the street lamps for what seemed like hours. It was the first time they'd seen such a thing. Of course, nowadays, we have lights in every room. We walk right past them and don't even take notice. Once I'd heard my grandmother's story, I started being more thankful that we have lights available to us now. By the time I came along, there were already televisions, electricity, indoor plumbing, and cars. But I remember the first time I saw a computer. It was a big, bulky thing, not like the thin laptops we have now. It had green and white text that scrolled up the screen as I typed on the keyboard. I felt that same fascination that my grandmother must have felt the first time she saw the street lamps lit up. As we become used to them, though, the inventions lose their newness. By the time you kids are born, computers are commonplace, but you didn't have video phones. I'm sure the first time you saw a VP and held the remote and saw the interpreter pop up on the screen, you must have felt it too. Playing with the camera settings and adjusting the zoom was fascinating to you, right? So we're not so different. And who knows what new technologies we'll see. It's an amazing thing.